The Pittsburgh Steelers are known for a lot of things. 6 Super Bowls, terrible towels, the steel curtain, a winning head coach, half the DNA of the Mara sisters, but dysfunction is not one of them. That appears to be changing this offseason. Amongst trade rumors, dealing big players, or not having a QB, this offseason seems a little, out of character for the Steelers, which has me questioning, what's the rest of the season going to look like? But before we get too much further, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell notification for all our video updates. I just want to thank every single one of you who's already subscribed to this channel. It really does mean a lot. We've been growing here and it really means a lot, so I just want to thank every single one of you who has subscribed from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. And if you think I've earned it and you haven't subbed already, please feel free to do so, but let's jump right back into the video. In this day and age in professional sports, fans, coaches, as well as general managers need to be able to decipher cryptic tweets. That's the exact situation TJ Watt has the Steelers in. On April 9th, he posted a picture of himself throwing up a peace sign. Many people thought he wanted out of Pittsburgh, but nothing's really come from that, so it's still speculation at this point. He's currently on the last deal of his contract, and it kind of makes sense that he would want to go to a contender, especially with how many holes the Steelers have to fill, especially at quarterback. Who can really blame him? He watched his brother play on a team that was always so close but couldn't get over the hump and wasted his career. I'm allowed to say that. Art Rooney has said that trading TJ seems very unlikely, but who knows how true that actually is. This might be a great time for the Steelers to trade TJ at potentially his peak value for the foreseeable future, but there's still a few more problems, starting with their wide receiver room. Right before free agency started, news broke that the Seattle Seahawks were trading DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was reported that Steelers would receive DK Metcalf and a 2025 6th-round pick, and the Seahawks would receive a 2025 2nd-round pick as well as a 2025 7th-round pick. This automatically made the Steelers' wide receiver room very interesting. Pickkins and Metcalf had very similar skill sets, and right at the start, a lot of people were thinking that Pickkins would be moved, but he wasn't moved on draft night, so it seemed like maybe they would be sharing a wide receiver room, made them a very interesting destination for somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Then last week, George Pickens was traded to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys ended up getting him for a 2026 3rd-round pick and a 2027 5th-round pick. The move was a little shocking, but the Steelers do have a pretty good track record of trading players away before they became problems. Is this another situation with George Pickens? We shall see, but again, track record's pretty good for the Steelers. Now with Pickens gone, this leaves the wide receiver room being DK Metcalf, Robert Woods, and Calvin Austin III. And look, nothing against those guys. I think DK Metcalf will eat. Robert Woods has been great for teams, but he's getting older. Calvin Austin, I still feel like could be something, but he still needs to develop a little bit more. They've now made the Steelers a less desirable destination for somebody like Aaron Rodgers. You've got one less weapon to throw to for a man who, to be honest, is aging. There are reports that if Rodgers does go there, that Lazard may be in play, but we'll see. Again, Aaron Rodgers needs to make up his mind, and we're getting to that. The only option the Steelers really have is to sign a veteran who's still available, which basically leaves Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper. The Steelers also didn't draft a wide receiver either, so there's really very few options they actually have besides trading for somebody. But all of that is meaningless unless they get their number one issue figured out. The quarterback room is the most important thing the Steelers need to figure out. I cannot remember a team in history that's gone on this far without having a secure quarterback that's basically figured to be the starter. Right now, the Steelers have Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and they drafted Will Howard. I like Will Howard, but he's got to develop. He is a 6th-round pick. He's not a, out-of-the-box, ready-to-go type of player. So this is a very interesting situation, and for a while it appeared that the Steelers had a lot of the cards when it came to this situation just because they were the last QB-needy team, and Aaron Rodgers really needed somewhere to go. So it appears both of them were just fine waiting it out, waiting for Aaron to make his decision. Some outlets were reporting that there's some kind of agreement that Aaron is going to play for the Steelers, which is why they didn't make a move earlier for somebody like Sanders or another quarterback earlier in the draft. Then some unexpected news happened. Derek Carr ended up retiring. That leaves the Saints with a rookie quarterback as well, which may mean that there's another destination possibly for Aaron Rodgers. Granted, I think the Steelers situation is much better than the Saints situation currently, but for negotiation tactics, that's a huge win. Especially with the Saints knowing that Shuck is a project quarterback. He's not ready to go right out of the box. Right now, the Steelers gave a lot of power to Aaron Rodgers with not a lot of options to get out. Realistically, their options are Aaron Rodgers, trading for somebody like maybe a Kirk Cousins, who, may not be traded to the Saints because why would you want to trade him to a division rival? So I think you have an upper hand there, but you're going to give up picks for that. So is it worth it? You could also trade for somebody who's a backup with starter potential, like maybe one of the quarterbacks out of Indianapolis, whoever doesn't win that quarterback battle. Maybe they're up for trade, something to that degree. They can also sign a free agent. Your options basically now are Ryan Tannehill, who sat out last year and is going to have some rust, Teddy Bridgewater, who has had a solid career but not world-breaking numbers, or Carson Wentz, who started off great but let's be honest has fallen off a cliff lately. And lastly, Mason Rudolph, which some Steeler fans think he could potentially be the guy, but I have my doubts. The fact that he could not beat Mayo Boy for a starting job last season.
Mayotivations with Will Levis.
Not instilling a lot of confidence there. So I don't really know if I trust him a lot if I'm the Steelers. But the main point I'm making is this is such an out-of-character situation for the Steelers and why it's kind of shocking they're allowing this to happen. Granted, they are one of the more relaxed ownership groups. They kind of let the front office do their thing. But as ownership, there's got to be a lot of question marks going on in their heads as well. Like, who are we marketing as quarterback? That's got to be a big question for them. However, this is not a total doom and gloom situation for the Steelers. If Aaron Rodgers does sign with them, I think he could potentially, keep them above water. I don't think he's their long-term solution. Obviously, he's a 40-year-old man, but I think he can get the job done this season. I also don't think that the Steelers are tanking because there's no point in tanking the NFL because they have no idea who's actually coming out of the draft. While yes, this is a projected better quarterback class than this past draft, it's still not a guarantee that you're going to get your guy. Look at the Patriots. They had a chance to get the number 1 overall pick, won a meaningless game, and they ended up losing out and going to the 4th overall pick. But like I said, this is all dependent on what they do at quarterback. So we shall see. Is this going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season? Or do you think they're going to figure it out and get somebody who's ready to go by the season? Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Like I mentioned, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It really does help me grow. Make sure you hit that bell notification as well. And until the next one, guys, have a good one.